Hi everyone, welcome to the 111 lab. So in this video I'll go over the materials that you need for the lab. What we need is Beyond Labs package for the lab. This is going to be the lab material. You have two ways in order to purchase this package. Either you go to this website, beyondlabs.com, and I did put a link in here on eCampus for you. So you just press that, and it's gonna take you directly to the purchase page, so you can purchase. If you wish to purchase from the bookstore, then no problem with this. You should purchase from the bookstore. You know how. Once you do this, then you can access. If These are the experiments, so if you just hit on any of these experiments in there, and you go to the lab experiment, it's gonna ask you to go ahead and write down the code that you purchased, and you're gonna write down the code, and you can have access to all of these experiments. Okay, we need Beyond Labs platform for the lab part of the course. The Beyond Labs is only going to be for 111 though lab and not for the 112 lab. The 112 lab is going to have its own platform. How the lab, a typical lab, will look like. Every lab will have an introduction video. If the lab requires a video, then you're gonna see an introduction video just to walk you on how to do the experiment. If there's any supporting information, then I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you to read that supporting information. The supporting information is normally a summary that I do in there, and it is not a long summary, but this walks you through the calculations for any of the labs. Okay, so if you see a lab that has supporting information, please go ahead and open the supporting information while you are doing the lab, so that I can walk you through the steps required for the calculations, because some labs, they have a lot of calculations in them. Okay, so you're gonna open experiment, and the experiment, and you are going to work it out. And all of these experiments, you can resume your work anytime. Every these experiments, they have individual questions. Let me go ahead and show you. So, for example, right now I've released, let's see, I've released three experiments right now: experiment one, experiment two, and experiment three. What is it due is experiment one and two. So, we're gonna go by like every week. We have two experiments that are due every week, and the due date is always going to be on Monday, except for the last lab. So the due date, for example, for experiments one and two is going to be on May 26th. Please follow the due date. And if you need an extension, it's fine. Just let me know. Okay. But at the end, I need all your labs to be submitted. We are not dropping any of the 11 labs. To enter the experiment, this is the folder for the experiment. So you go over here. So this experiment has an introduction video. Watch it. Watch it before you do the experiment. And then we're going to go ahead and press. This is the supporting information, and this is the experiment. Again, experiment one does have some calculations probably, so this is why we have the supporting information. If there's no calculations, then there's concepts that I am explaining in this supporting information. So let's see, for experiment one, we're gonna press on that. Again, if you purchase the code from the library, it's just gonna ask you to go ahead and put the code, so you can put the code. You're gonna see something like that. This is gonna be your first experiment. So what you do over here is just hit start. Okay. So once you hit start, this is gonna be your experiment. So it's gonna start with a little bit background. Read it. A pre-lab question in there. Go ahead. The pre-lab question is related to the lecture. It's very related to whatever we are explaining in the lecture. The first lab is the density lab. So answer that pre-lab question, and you see that every question has its own submission. Okay, you have three trials, but it's not going to tell you if your answer is right or wrong, because these are free answers that normally I need to grade. The system does not grade them properly, and I don't trust the system. So whenever you submit your assignment, then I am going to grade it after the due date, and I prefer that I grade everybody at the same time. So please be patient. I'm just gonna wait until everybody submits their assignments after the due date. And this is why I made the due date every week, so that I won't accumulate all of these assignments and have to grade all of them at the end. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and answer, and you're going to go ahead and submit the answer for your question. You have three trials for this one. As I said, it's not going to show you if whatever you submitted is right or wrong. The three trials are actually no use. You can do just one trial and move on, and I will grade those. Okay, and then you go to the procedure. Now, this is the actual experiment that's going to open on another window. So we're going to go ahead and this is the experiment itself. So we're going to go ahead and press on that. Okay. So when we press on it, I would normally prefer to open two pages. Okay. So normally I would prefer to open two pages here. So let's see. Here you go. I would prefer to open the experiment and the instructions, the procedure, because you will be reading the procedure and you will be doing the experiment at the same time. Now, this experiment has a video, so you should watch the video before, so that you know what you need to do in here. And these are the steps that you would need to do. So please read and follow the steps in there. And there are questions that you would need to answer. This is your data. So you have to weigh a solid sample, you have to get the volume of the fluid. So everything is clear in here, and it is explained in the video as well. Every question, you're going to submit it individually. Let's say you submit it and you don't want to go ahead and continue the rest, it's fine. You can go ahead and save your lab. There's something called save lab in here. So you're going to save the lab, you're going to close it, and then the next day you can come and resume your work. No problem with this. Okay, so this is for beyond labs. And at the end, once you're done from everything, there is a submit button, a button at the end. So let's see. Here you go. So at the end, actually these are individual ones. So at the end, make sure that everything is submitted. Every single question is submitted. Okay, because these are individual questions that are submitted. Yeah. So make sure that everything is submitted at the end, so that everything gets graded. Okay. Now, once you submit, you are going to see the grade for this experiment on eCampus and the grade book. Again, don't freak out, because some of them are free answers, not multiple choice. So these free answers I have to grade. So I have to go there, grade them, and to change your grade. Okay. So this is for the Beyond Labs part. Let's see. If you look at the syllabus in there, um, so let's see. So we do have a list of 11 labs. The first two labs we're going to release, and those are going to be due May 26th. If you look at eCampus, you're going to see a third lab released as well. Um, well, some students, they like to work ahead, and I will be releasing material ahead. This doesn't mean that you have to turn it in. So all of these experiments have their due dates, and their due dates, they are in this course outline over here. So follow the due dates and do 2 experiments per week. You don't need to do more than that. If you want to do more than that and be ahead, it's fine by me, but you don't have to. Okay. So far you have 2 experiments that are due on May the 26th. I've released a third experiment, and probably later this week I will release like 2 or 3 more. If you want to be ahead, be ahead. If not, then stick to 2 experiments per semester. You guys, there is no final exam. There is no final exam here, so your grade is going to be 100% based on your lab experiments. Okay, so every experiment is going to be 9.1% of your grade, and the grades are going to appear on the eCampus grade book. So you go to eCampus there, and you're going to see your average. Once you turn in every experiment, you're going to see your average. But as I said, some of these experiments I need to grade if they have free question answer. So you just need to be patient until I grade them and put your grade in there. Okay. Um, Pretty much that's it. So let's say, for example, if you need an extension for the due date, I have no problem with this, but you just need to let me know. And again, do not accumulate, because I would honestly prefer that everybody turns labs 1 and 2 in on May 26th so that I can get going, grade those, post the grades, and move on to the next 2 experiments. Okay, so this is regarding the lab. I want to make a short video. I don't want to make a long video in there. You can go ahead and read the syllabus, and if there's anything that you need, again, you have my cell phone number. It's up there. Text me if you have any questions, text me. See, let's say if you're doing the experiment, you have questions in there, you don't know what you're doing, I'm here. So text me, I'll go Teams with you, I'll walk you through it, and that will save you time. Okay, guys? So pretty much that's it. Um, we are not going to meet for the 111 lab at all. So we're not meeting, so there will be no meeting. But if you need a Teams meeting, I will be more than happy to do this. You just need to let me know. Okay, guys. So have a nice day.